Alright guys, and welcome to my Gears of War 4 review. Now this is going to be a quick video. I just wanted to go over a couple of things. And first, I'm going to start off, just get straight into it and start off with the campaign. Now I did the campaign on hardcore difficulty, which is the second hardest. I felt like this was like the perfect difficulty to come into it because I've already played all the Gears of War games. Apart from 3, I mentioned I haven't played 3. So the campaign might have not made sense to me. No, I'm joking, it made sense perfectly. Like, I read up on the lore and everything just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And yeah, the campaign, did it on hardcore, perfect difficulty I think for doing it the first time if you're already someone who's played Gears of War. Yeah, so I'll start off with the gameplay. I mean, it's Gears of War, it's pretty much similar to what you know. A lot of the battles you have are very similar, but they don't feel very similar just because of the settings. For example, some missions of the campaign you'll be defending a certain point, similar to Horde, and they even have the Fabricator in certain missions as well. But the most of the time it's basically you need to get from A to B and there's enemies in the way. If you played Gears of War campaigns in the past, you'll know exactly what it's like. It's very similar to that, and you know, that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And yeah, there's quite a few boss battles and mini boss battles in the campaign as well. I'm not going to spoil any of them, but I'd say they're very satisfying when you do them. They're quite simple to figure out. It often gives you hints of what you need to do, but it still feels satisfying actually completing these boss battles. And they definitely feel epic, like there's some really crazy executions and stuff like that. But again, I won't get into spoilers, just know that they're satisfying. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the story. Basically you play as this character, JD, which is Marcus's son, who's the main character from the other Gears of War games. I could get into the story loads and get into all the details, but basically the gist of it is, you are with a group of outsiders, and the so-called government at the time, they're basically trying to hunt you down because you stole a generator from one of the settlements. And then, this isn't spoilers or anything, a new threat comes in, aka the Swarm, which are basically mutated versions of the Locusts from the other games. And one of these things called the Snatchers takes your dad, and you basically have to go and find your dad, find the thing that took him, and also find the woman that you have, Kate, her mother, who got taken, and try and defeat the Swarm. That's basically the gist of the campaign. I always say there's quite a few emotional moments in it at certain points. Obviously, I've already said it, when his dad gets taken away. You've seen that in the trailer, so that's not really a spoiler. That is quite an emotional moment for me. The dialogue in the gameplay and in the cutscenes between the characters, the dialogue is so good, it really carries the story on without having too many cutscenes. And the gameplay and the cutscenes seem to flow seamlessly in between each other. I love the new characters. JD, Dell is probably one of my favourite characters. Kate is a great character again. Her mum, and especially her father, is just such a funny character. As well as obviously Marcus and a few of the other older characters returning, which is fucking orgasmic. But yeah, overall, the campaign is definitely one of my favourite campaigns I've played this year. It's between that and the Doom campaign. This one definitely has a much better story. The gameplay in the Doom campaign was just so much fun though, but honestly I'd say this is probably my favourite campaign that I played this year. Just for the sheer investment I had in the characters and the storyline. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the multiplayer and Horde mode. Now I'll start off with the multiplayer. So there's core game modes such as TDM, Dodgeball, King of the Hill, Arms Race, Guardian, and Warzone. And my favourites I played so far is TDM. It's just simple, it's so much fun. King of the Hill is great on certain maps and not so great on others. Guardian is a lot of fun as long as the teams are balanced and you don't have a shit player as the Guardian, like me, then it's fine. And Arms Race is probably one of my favourite modes. Pretty much similar to Gun Game if you played that on Call of Duty titles. But more of a team-based gun game. You have to get 3 kills as a team with each gun. And it's so much fun. There's also competitive game modes such as Escalation and Execution. And Escalation is probably my favourite out of the two. They're both so much fun though. They're both sort of a longer lasting game. I'm not quite sure how the ranking system works for everything. So far I haven't played enough games to really understand it. But I'm sure that'll be fine. The matchmaking is great and the servers are fantastic. My internet's not really the greatest in the world. My internet's really inconsistent, and even for me, I don't really notice any lag in the game. You barely ever join a game halfway through. I'd say like 95% of the time, maybe even more than that. I join a game and it's in the lobby, or right at the start of the game. They're really good about that. The only problem with that though is that if someone leaves the game halfway through, it's very rare that I see someone join. I'm not even sure if I have seen someone join halfway through. Like, so if someone leaves on your team in like a game like Dodgeball or a competitive game like Escalation, it really fucks you over. Like, it makes it so much harder to win, and that can get quite frustrating. Now onto Horde mode. Now I've played the absolute dick out of this. I absolutely love it. Basically you get currency for killing enemies and use that to build defences and try and survive. Work together as a team. And this is definitely one of the few survival modes in games where you actually work together as a team, and you need to work together as a team, which is fantastic. But only when someone doesn't fucking leave like halfway through the game, or someone doesn't just leave at the start of the game or go AFK. It's really frustrating when that happens. But when everyone's in the game and no one's being a dick, which is most of the time, it's fantastic. It's one of the best survival game modes that I've played. The class system adds so much replayability to it, and I still need to experiment with a lot of the classes, but the Scout is the one that I have. The Scout is my favourite so far. And yeah, I feel like I've been going on for quite a long time, and I just want to make this short review. So I'll get into my final thoughts about the game. So yeah, overall, if I was going to rate it, I'd probably give it like an 8, which for me is a really high rating. And for me, I'd even go up to a 9 if it wasn't for the stuff I mentioned about the matchmaking and Horde mode. And especially Horde mode, like, if they just added NPCs like they do in the campaign, the AI as teammates, if they just added some option to add the AI as teammates for single player. I love playing survival games single player, and you can't really do that on Horde. It's very difficult, pretty much impossible to play it on your own. So adding the AI in there to help you out like they do in the campaign, you can actually make it able to get high ranks offline on your own, and not have to rely on matchmaking, which, as I said, is quite frustrating when someone leaves halfway through. You could even have AI to come in for a player when they leave. That could solve that issue, but that might be a bit more tricky. But anyway, overall, I really love the game. I can see myself playing this until the end of next year. Like, it's just one of those games that has a lot of replayability. The campaign is solid. Like, I'd happily play through that again in a couple of months' time. And yeah, basically, I just want fucking Gears of War 5 now. Like, give me the fucking shit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, let me know what you think of the game. Leave a comment and subscribe if you're new. Alright, thanks guys, and goodbye.